All right, so hello again. My next task here is to finish off this steering column cover. So as you can see here, I have a swivel billet firewall pass-through on the bottom of the steering column. And I'm going to build an aluminum cover to go cover all of this here, and I just got a towel stuffed in the hole through the floorboards here where the steering U-joints go through. So I'll build a rubber gasket for that, and then an aluminum cover for that, which is going to be a bit of a challenge because it's really hard to take a pattern off of this. So there's going to be some guesswork involved, and hopefully I guess right. So it'll be in two pieces. So I'll use the shrinker and stretcher to shrink the curve here and at the top, and then I'll have another aluminum piece on the top here, just a flat piece that I'll rivet on. And I'm gonna have to take the steering column apart one more time to pass this cover that I make, get it around the steering shaft. So, but we'll get to that later on. At the moment, I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this without, because it's going to be really hard to make an actual pattern of it. So I'm not sure yet. I'm going to have to just take some measurements and work away at it, and just go a little bit at a time and figure out, to make it work. So anyways, hopefully it all works out. But I'll continue to film as I have been as I do this, and maybe if somebody else is crazy enough to do this, they can figure out how to do it or how not to do it. We'll see how it goes, as usual. And at this point, I'm thinking that I'm going to brush the aluminum to match the dash, but I'm not positive on that, as it might be too much aluminum, or like brushed. So I'm not sure, not positive yet. But what I'll do is I'll brush it, and kind of once it's all finished, I'll brush it, and then I'll see how it looks and see how I like it. And I can always just paint it black if I have to, because I have another panel to make up over in this other side. I still haven't gotten to finishing that. Things got in the came up last year, and I couldn't get back to it. So that still has to be cover made up, and I'd like to get this floor, driver's compartment floor, carpeted this year, and these panels have to be made up first, and that. So yeah, still undecided. I don't know whether I'm gonna make the panels up, paint them black to match the dash, or to match this portion of the dash, or if I'll brush them so it looks like the dash panel. Still haven't decided. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Well, that didn't work. I can't. That's as far as I can bend it with the shrinker and stretcher. This material here on the bottom where it's stretching just gets so thin that it's just splitting here. It's just busting in half. Look, it's separating there. So what I'm going to have to do is shrinking up here is not too bad. I think it'll shrink more. So what I'm going to do is I have some aluminum angle, like just made out of the same material, just 16, or no, this is 20 gauge. 20 gauge aluminum. I'll try and bend an angle and then just wrap. So I'll cut this flange off and then just wrap it around the around that. So I'm going to try that next. If that doesn't work, if that still won't go tight enough, then I guess I'll just have to make it you know, an upper and lower piece to go in here out of plywood, I guess. Just cut it and shape it to the shape I want, and then just wrap this aluminum around it. And if I probably if that's the case, then I'll coat the fiberglass or the plywood in fiberglass to seal it, kind of the same as I did on the dash, and then wrap this aluminum around it. But at this point, this didn't work, so I'll try the angle next, and I'll check in a little bit later. Yeah, okay, so that works. I can shrink it a lot more than I can stretch it. So I'm using this 5-inch. I wanted a 5-inch radius, or 5-inch, not radius, but anyways, you know what I mean. So I using this 5-inch disc to check it. It's pretty close to being the shape I want. I'll just go up and test fit it here now, and then I'm going to try and just shrink the top or that other piece down, continue shrinking it. So, and if that doesn't work, then I'll just make up another one of these. But I think it'll work. It as you shrink it, the material gets thicker, so that you know, so you can shrink it a lot more than you can stretch it. Once it got so thin, when I was stretching it, it just started to split like I showed you before. So anyways, let's continue with this and see how it goes. Alright, so I've fiddled around. This is a pain in the neck to get in here. I fiddled around with a bunch of different ideas to finally come up with making a paper template as close as I can get to it. Then I'll cut it, cut it out of aluminum and fold it, you know, curve it around a 4-inch or a 5-inch piece of pipe or something, and then I'll just have to fit it in there and then start trimming, and trim as I go until I get it to fit. So yeah, fun and games, but it'll be all good when it's done, I think. I hope. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I had to end up covering that paper template I made with tape to give it some body. It was just too flimsy. And then I got it in there and trimmed it. I'm going to cut it just a little bit bigger than the pattern, and then I will, you know, get the aluminum in there and then trim it to fit. So here's the piece I'd made previously for the bottom. A flange there, and then there's the one on, there's the top one there. And I end up having to cut, because it's compound or different curves here, which I couldn't bend on the stretcher, shrinker stretcher. I had to I just cut it, and then I'll bend these out as it needs to. It's 90 degrees here, and it's less than 90 here because this is at an angle from the floor. So anyways, I'm going to go cut that piece of aluminum now and fold it, or like roll it, and then try and make it fit. Alright, so you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like when it's done there. I got more fitting to do yet, but it's getting pretty close. Doesn't look like much, but it takes a lot of time. Probably got, a good 4 hours in it so far. That's just raw aluminum too. I think what I'll do, I have some, so I'll get it to fitting, and then I'll have some 1/8 inch Clecos. I'll just Cleco into place for now. And then I have some button head stainless machine screws somewhere. I'll have to find them. They're down in the container there somewhere. And then I'll screw it together in there with that. I'll stand back here a little bit. Maybe get a little bit better idea of what it will look like. I don't know how well that shows up, but anyways, that's kind of, it'll just cover all that up, and then I can take it off when I need to grease it and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, getting a little farther along, time to make some dinner. Alright, so it's a few days later, finally getting back to this. When I stopped working on it a few days ago, I had it all in there and fit and everything, and I just kind of got ahead of myself a little bit, and I got it all screwed and glued down here. And I can't get my rib nut setter in there to set the rib nuts, so I'm going to have to take the screws out, unglue it, and I cut the glue off, and then put the rib nuts in, and then put it back together again. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But I have the screws now, so it's just a matter of taking it apart and finishing it off. So I will. Oh, and I guess I have to brush the piece as well. It's just raw aluminum right now. So anyways, I'll get to it and film a little bit more of this when I'm a little farther along. So if anybody's unfamiliar with rib nuts, I don't imagine there's too many people that don't know what they are, but just for those that don't, basically they're a threaded insert that installs like a rivet. So this is the set I have. Drill the hole the right size, thread the rib nut on, and then just squeeze these handles to expand it just like a rivet into the hole. And then it gives you, get over here somewhere until it focuses. Come on, you can do it. Until you have, and then you have a threaded insert. So I like them, they work really well. These are 1024, and these are the stainless button head, Allen head screws that I got for it. And yeah, so I'll just continue on. Alright, well, I decided to polish it, and the steering column is stainless steel, so polished stainless like. So I decided to polish it rather than brush it like the dash. That's sanded out to 4000 grit Trizact. So I just have to do one more. I just have to polish it with some buffing compound, and it'll be done. I don't know how well that really showing up, but anyway, it's pretty shiny already with just sanded out with 4000, but it'll need, it needs a polish yet, so I'll do that next. Alright, there, it's all buffed out. Getting a little late and I'm getting pooped, so I think I'll just install it tomorrow. I think it came out okay. Not 100% perfect, but for a 50-year-old bus, it'll be fine. Alright, so I got it all just installed here. It's just sitting there. I have to screw it all down again yet, but it's all going to fit fine. Now that that's all polished up, you can see all the aluminum on the column drops and everything all need to be polished. Yeah, one part shiny and all the rest of them need to be polished back up. Oh well, only takes a couple minutes. I'll post one more once it's all bolted down and everything. Okay, so that's it. It's all in, mounted, and all polished up. That was a bit of a challenge getting all the screws in, but as long as I don't have to take it off too often, it's fine. I think it looks good. Matches the column. I can polish it, you know, just by hand quickly and every once a year or something like that to keep it up. Same as the column drops and the fortunately Billet Specialties uses really good quality aluminum, so it polishes right up really easy. So anyways, I will I'll put this all together and post it for you guys.